Hey guys, what's going on? It's Kel back here again with another Warhammer 40,000 9th edition video regarding today, the new Death Guard rules. This has come up yesterday, but I'm doing the video today because I seem to spam everyone a lot yesterday. There was 3 separate videos went up yesterday, and the Death Guard rules, I'm filming this and it's going to come up today. So everyone who's waking up to this and tuning in can read the new Death Guard rules today. So I hope you're all well. Thanks very much for watching the video. If you could, drop a like on the video while you're watching it, just to help boost the channel, just to help boost this brand new 9th edition Warhammer 40,000 channel. It really does mean a lot. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. As you can see, we've put out a lot of videos in the past few days, and it will continue. There will be hints, tips, tricks, painting videos and 40k battle reports once lockdown is over. But this video today is dedicated to the new Death Guard rules for Warhammer 40k 9th edition. So let's see what we've got. I haven't actually looked through this, so it's got part of the Saigon Awakening here. Okay, so we'll start here. Followers of Mortarion, rejoice. We know that Death Guard fans have been patiently waiting for new rules and Psychic Awakening. War of the Spider delivers in droves, or more accurately, shambling herds, full of Pox Walkers. Take a look at some of the new tricks that the Death Guard will be releasing on the unsuspecting galaxy. And here we can see a picture as a effective bloat drone, some Pox Walkers, Space Marines, a lot of contagion, and some other stuff in there as well. Love the grain and stuff on the and the detail that goes in Death Guard, the little bits of slime and the teeth and the rot and Grandfather Nurgle's blessing. It all looks really good. So what have we got? Relics of Decay. And the furnaces of the Plague Planet have been busy, and there's a whole host of new relics for the Death Guard to choose from. Be as generous as Nurgle and reward one of your noxious Blightbringers with the Demon's Toll. Okay, the Demon's Toll. Okay, let's have a look and see what this is. With each discordant note, the Warpforged bell sounds Mortarion suns shuddering out of sync with real space. They quiver upon the cusp of the Imperium? Anyway, this is what happens when you can't read. Allowing its unholy energies to flow forth and enfold them. So the Noxious Blightbringer model only. Models in friendly Death Guard units, excluding cultists and Pox Walkers, have a 5+ invulnerable save, whilst they're within 7 inches, because that is Grandfather Nurgle's number, of the model from your army with this relic. That's mental. So everything would now get a 5+ invulnerable save and disgustingly resilient. Oh, I'm going to say what's coming here. Your opponents already know how difficult it is to kill your warriors due to them having disgusting resilient. This is true. I've played Call's Death Guard army before, and they are a pain in the foot to move off the board. That disgusting resilient road has saved so many of his models, it is literally disgusting. Imagine how much better that would be if you had a 5+ invulnerable save too. Put your Noxious Blightbringer at the heart of your army and watch your forces shrug off incoming fire as they make their inexorable march across the battlefield, which is mental. Now I think as well, the Noxious Blightbringer is a character model. I'm not entirely sure. You might have the character keyword, which means you can't target it. You have to clear out everything else first and make sure it is the closest model, and then you can target it. That is mental. That is absolutely mental. And the wording as well is Noxious models in friendly Death Guard units. So that's everything. That's Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines. That would be the tanks as well, from what I can hear. All it excludes is the cultist and the Pox Walker. So basically, if you have 2 or 3 of them spread out across the battlefield, everything is getting a 5+ invulnerable save. I am not sure if models already get an invulnerable save in the Death Guard army. My knowledge of the rules of Death Guard is not 100%. Cole would know better than me, so I might have to have a talk with him later. But if they don't, and maybe things get like a 6 invulnerable save, and you could put this in its place, and you're spreading out a 7-inch or even 5+ invulnerable saves, that is good. That is very tasty for Death Guard players. Now, stratagems. Clearly the tallyman has been busy writing down some new tactics for the Death Guard to use, as War of the Spider features lots of stratagems. If you would like your Plague Marines to get up close and personal, pay a command point to make them into trench fighters. Okay, so you can see at the top there we've got 1 CP, 1 command point for trench fighters. The Death Guard excel in the crush of close quarters, driving plague knives into their victims again and again. So use a stratagem in the fight phase when a Plague Marine unit from your army is chosen to fight with. Until the end of that phase, when a model in that unit fights, if it is equipped with 1 or more plague knives, it can make 1 additional attack with the plague knife. Okay, so if you've got something like a plague champion maybe who's got a couple of plague knives on them, so that for 1 CP you can generate additional attacks. Good, fluffy, I like it. So what better way to spread Grandfather Nurgle's diseases than through stabbing your enemies? Don't worry if you prefer to kill from afar. There's a stratagem that can help with that too. Okay, so this is more of a shooting stratagem. Overwhelming generosity, Death Guard stratagem. Unholy filth gushes from Nurgle's faithful into their guns until the armaments threaten to burst like bloated corpses. So for 1 CP, use a stratagem in your shooting phase when a Death Guard unit from your army, excluding cultists and Pox Walkers, is chosen to shoot with. Until the end of the phase, at 6 inches to the range of plague weapons, which obviously are listed in the Death Guard Codex, excluding melee weapons, models in that unit are equipped with. So I'm thinking things like blight launchers. 6 extra inches to the range of a blight launcher is a really good buff. I'm not sure, like I say, on the dimensions, the rules, how many shots, what the inches are already, but whenever you get to add range onto faction and army-specific weapons, in this case plague weapons, then fine. You know, it's fluffy, it's good, it works well. We'll have to have a read-through of Cole's Death Guard Codex just to see exactly what units get what and how useful this is going to be too. And then we'll keep going. This is amazing when using your foul blightspawn to make their plague spray deadly from even further away. Yep. Okay. Plague companies. The even better news is that each of your 7 plague companies of the Death Guard has been blessed with the rules that reflect the way that they wage war. Each company gets a unique warlord trait, what does that word say? Putrescent relic, putrescent, and their own stratagem. Follow Typhus in the first plague company, the harbingers, and spread the blessings of the zombie plague. Okay, so we've got the carrion heaps. One should always burn the bodies of the plague slain, lest they rise again to assail those still living. Okay, so it's 1/3 CP. Use a stratagem before battle. Select 1 Harbinger's Pox Walkers unit from your army for 1 command point, or 2 Pox Walkers units from your army for 3 command points. So either 1 is 1, 2 is 3 command points. Okay. You can set up the selected units under the ground instead of setting them up on the battlefield. Oh, this is like a naughty little deep strike thing. At the end of your movement phase, for each of the units that are underground, you can set the unit up anywhere on the battlefield that is wholly within 9 inches of the battlefield edge and more than 9 inches away from the enemy models. You can only use a stratagem once per battle. Okay, so that's like a deep striking thing for Pox Walkers to get the horde and the screen further up. Now, the thing that I'm automatically thinking about with this is I use Space Marine infiltrators. Now, infiltrators have the rule where units that appear can't be set up more than 12 inches. 12 inches away from them because they have that little extra aura of deep striking turn. So I wonder how that would work against this, because this says wholly within 9 inches of the battlefield edge and more than 9 inches away from the enemy models. But then some models you can't deploy within 12 inches of. That's an interesting one. I'd like to see how that is possibly examined or FAQ'd maybe. let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think is going to happen with that? Because I can see that causing a couple of arguments between people. Me and Carl. And at the bottom here, what to say? Use this to surprise your enemies when you raise your Pox Walkers out of the very ground. Don't forget to say, brains, when you do this. Okay, so basically, Pox Walkers, zombies, that's another fluffy stratagem. That's really good. Having them come out of the ground and things like that. I don't know how it would work against some armies, like I said earlier on, but it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. Interesting. So the 4th Plague Company are called the Wretched and are ruled over by a demon known as the Eater of Lives. With this warlord trait to be bestowed to its favourite, you can see how it got that name. Okay, so this is a warlord trait, Eater Plague. The flesh-melting horror of the Eater Plague pours off this warlord in waves, reducing his foes to bubbling gruel that he dabs into his own wounds by the fistful to plug them. So this says, when an enemy model is destroyed as a result of an attack made with a melee weapon by your warlord, this warlord regains up to 1 lost wound, a maximum of 3 wounds per phase. Okay, so if you're going and you're smashing in maybe with, I don't know, a demon prince who's got lots of attacks with malefic talons into some space marines or some Tau or a big group of orcs, and you know you're going to be able to kill 3, you're potentially going to get 3 wounds back in the fight phase every time. And that says, yeah, 3 wounds per phase, so you couldn't just spam that repeatedly in combat. So that's only per phase. That's good. That's another fluffy thing. That these are working really well. You can picture them being used for Death Guard units. That's why I like when GW release stratagems and things like that, specifically for factions, because it shows that they've taken the time and the effort to actually think about what the army would do, how it would act. They were applying a bit common sense to it, which is good. So we've got even more here. Whoa. Charge an enemy unit and recharge yourself with their life force. Alternatively, follow the 5th Plague Company, the Poxmongers, and join their mass demon engine assaults. So this is for 1 CP. Bilious Blood Rush. Bilious Blood Rush. The diseased gore flowing through and across this demon engine boils and bubbles as its rage burns hot. So like I say, for 1 CP, use a stratagem in your shooting phase. Select 1 Poxmonger's demon engine unit from your army until the end of that phase. The unit can shoot in a turn in which it fell back. Oh, okay, that's also fluffy. I'm not quite sure. Like I say, on the rules and stuff specifically about the Death Guard and the weapons and ranges and stuff like that. But you know, it's good. It means you can move back and shoot. It's fluffy. I like it. So use this when your opponent thinks that they've got your malefic blight haulers locked down in combat. Then fall back and unleash hell. And that's saying nothing for the 7th Plague Company, Mortarian's Chosen Sons. However you want to play your Death Guard, you'll find something in War of the Spider. The next Psychic Awakening book is available to pre-order from Saturday, and we'll be continuing. We'll continue looking at the rules for other factions throughout the week. In the meantime, grab yourself some reinforcements for the Death Guard. Okay, that's cool. I actually like all those that's been mentioned there. Those are a lot of fun. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. That's gonna be it for another video. Hope you've enjoyed. Like I said at the beginning, if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? You know, these videos come thick and fast, and Warhammer 40k we're on top of the videos all the time. So if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, click the bell notification to keep up to date with all the latest videos, and at the very least, drop a like on this video. It doesn't take much to like the video, and it really does help out small channels like this one on YouTube get bigger every day. So if you could do that, massively appreciated. And we also massively appreciate you watching, guys. It's been my pleasure, Kel, on behalf of 40k, bringing you this video. There will be more coming throughout the week, as described below. And until the next video, guys, we will see you later.